Today in London, diplomacy took centre stage as Britain's new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, welcomed his Australian counterpart, Anthony Albanese, at the iconic 10 Downing Street. The meeting, held on September 26, 2025, marked an important chapter in the long-standing partnership between the United Kingdom and Australia. From the first images of the leaders' greeting to their exchanges across the polished table, every moment symbolised the commitment to strengthen bilateral ties in an era of shifting global dynamics. As the cameras rolled, the motorcade carrying Prime Minister Anthony Albanese approached the famous black door of number 10. He stepped out confidently, acknowledging the waiting photographers before walking purposefully up the short flight of stone steps. Standing at the doorway was Prime Minister Keir Starmer, extending a firm handshake as the two leaders exchanged measured smiles. Their greeting under the brass number signified not merely a diplomatic formality, but the start of substantive talks expected to touch on trade, security, and climate priorities. Moments later, the two leaders entered the residence together, their footsteps echoing down the hallway that has witnessed countless historical meetings. The symbolic handshake at the threshold, captured by the cameras, offered the first official image of the encounter, one that analysts say reflects the effort by both leaders to project unity and mutual respect at a critical juncture in their respective premierships. Inside the stately meeting room, the atmosphere shifted from ceremony to the serious tone of diplomacy. The footage showed Prime Minister Keir Starmer opening the discussion, leaning slightly forward in his seat as he welcomed his Australian counterpart. Observers familiar with the agenda noted that Starmer's introductory remarks touched on shared democratic values, the importance of sustaining the UK-Australia partnership in a more uncertain world, and the need for coordinated action on trade and regional stability. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese responded with equal warmth, yet with the focus of a seasoned policymaker. He underscored the historic nature of the UK-Australia alliance, emphasising cooperation on issues ranging from climate change to defence and sustainable economic growth. According to diplomatic aides, Albanese reiterated Australia's commitment to advancing clean energy technologies and acknowledged the United Kingdom's role as a vital partner in both security and green technology investment. Wide-angle shots taken during the early part of the meeting revealed both leaders seated at a polished wooden table, leaning slightly forward, engaged in what appeared to be an earnest discussion. Their demeanour conveyed a sense of shared purpose, one that, as commentators later observed, reflected the increasingly intertwined interests of the two countries in the face of global challenges. This meeting arrives at a pivotal moment for UK-Australia relations. For Prime Minister Starmer, still in the initial months of his tenure, deepening ties with key Commonwealth partners is both a diplomatic priority and a signal to international allies that Britain intends to remain a proactive global player after Brexit. For Prime Minister Albanese, engagement with the United Kingdom reinforces Australia's network of partnerships beyond the Asia-Pacific region and showcases Canberra's desire to cooperate closely with fellow democracies. One of the most significant elements of the discussions reportedly focused on trade. Both leaders recognised that the UK-Australia Free Trade Agreement, implemented in recent years, serves as an important bridge for businesses and investors on both sides. Talks are believed to have included ways to expand the agreement's scope, especially in green technologies, digital trade and advanced manufacturing sectors, allowing both countries to position themselves more competitively in a global economy transitioning to sustainable practices. Climate change was another prominent issue on the agenda. Australia has long faced pressure to accelerate its emissions reduction commitments, and the Albanese government has prioritised green energy investment as part of its domestic policy. Keir Starmer, having campaigned on a promise to lead Britain toward a greener future, reportedly highlighted the importance of international cooperation to achieve meaningful progress on global climate targets. The two leaders' shared emphasis on renewables and clean energy technology suggested an alignment of priorities that could yield future collaborative projects. Security and regional stability were also central to the private discussions. As part of the AUKUS Defence Pact, a trilateral security agreement involving Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States, Britain plays a crucial role in providing Australia with advanced defence capabilities, including nuclear-powered submarines. Diplomatic sources indicated that both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to upholding a rules-based international order in the Indo-Pacific, particularly amid growing tensions and territorial disputes in the region. Beyond high-level diplomacy, both Prime Ministers underscored the importance of the people-to-people ties that underpin the UK-Australia relationship. With more than 1 million Australians having British heritage and thousands of young professionals and students moving between the two countries each year, cultural and educational exchanges remain a key aspect of bilateral engagement. Sources suggest that future policy initiatives could seek to expand youth mobility programs, academic partnerships, and opportunities for collaborative research in science and technology. Political analysts observing the meeting emphasised that while the public optics focused on handshakes and cordial exchanges, the stakes for both leaders are significant. For Keir Starmer, advancing tangible agreements with a major partner like Australia helps reinforce his leadership credentials at home, where voters and lawmakers expect concrete outcomes from his government's foreign policy. For Anthony Albanese, showcasing strengthened ties with Britain provides reassurance to an Australian electorate keen on seeing enhanced security and diversified trade opportunities. The symbolism of the meeting was not lost on seasoned diplomats. The iconic Black Door of 10 Downing Street, which has welcomed world leaders for centuries, once again became the backdrop for a moment of Commonwealth unity. Both leaders' body language, a blend of cordiality and focus, suggested an understanding that while shared history is important, the challenges they face today require modern, coordinated responses. Experts note that this meeting serves as part of a broader strategic effort by Western democracies to deepen cooperation in the face of shifting geopolitical realities. As global trade routes evolve and new energy technologies disrupt traditional markets, partnerships between like-minded nations such as the UK and Australia become vital in shaping a secure, sustainable and fair international system. While no detailed joint statement was released at the time of the meeting, aides from both sides hinted that follow-up discussions would continue over the coming weeks, focusing on practical steps to implement commitments on climate investment, defence cooperation and trade expansion. Analysts suggest that we may see announcements about specific programmes or joint ventures in the months ahead, demonstrating that this meeting was more than a symbolic gesture. In closing, the visit of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to Downing Street served not only as a reaffirmation of historic ties, but also as a forward-looking dialogue aimed at adapting the UK-Australia relationship to the realities of the 21st century. The images captured during the opening moments, handshakes at the famous doorway, a shared conversation across the meeting table, highlight the enduring relevance of personal diplomacy in shaping global partnerships. Today's encounter underscored that in a world grappling with climate emergencies, economic uncertainty, and regional instability, such bilateral meetings remain a cornerstone of international cooperation. Both leaders sought to demonstrate that while geography separates the two nations, their shared values and common goals bring them together in pursuit of a more secure, sustainable, and prosperous future. As the meeting concluded and the cameras were ushered out, the sense of anticipation lingered. The public will now watch to see how the pledges and discussions made in the stately rooms of Number 10 translate into policies and initiatives that benefit both nations. The tone set in London today suggests that this partnership is poised to deepen and that its impact may resonate far beyond the walls of Downing Street.
On digital ID, more control, Prime Minister. 1 million people have signed the petition. Are you listening, Prime Minister? Are digital IDs Big Brother 2.0? Is the Labour Party at war with each other, Mr. Starmer? Are you fighting for your political future, Mr. Starmer? Do you fear Andy Burnham, Mr. Starmer?
Well, it's a real pleasure to welcome you here to Downing Street. I know you've been here before, but you haven't been here since I've been Prime Minister, so it's a real privilege and pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for coming to the conference this morning. And there's just the clearest evidence of the strong relationship between our two countries on so many levels. What we're doing on defence and security, whether that's AUKUS, the work on the coalition of willing, the work we're doing in relation to Ukraine, Middle East, where we're aligned in our approach.
We, of course, share history,
Yeah,
we share people-to-people links, and we share values. And today, more so than ever really, if we look at in today's uncertain world, we need certainty, and the relationship between the UK and Australia provides that.
Yeah.
Certainty in terms of our defence relationship, particularly through AUKUS. Certainty with our economic relationship, the free trade agreement that's working extremely well. We've got a lot to discuss.
Yep, we have, but we approach it with the same mindset, so that's really good.
We do. Great start.
Great. Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks very much.